Hey there, rock stars. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here to teach you proper picking technique, specifically with an exercise called the pick rest. I've been teaching for many years, and I've found that this one exercise alone helps in massive ways with all sorts of picking. It doesn't matter what genre of music that you're playing. It's just guitar playing. These are basic techniques that if you don't have them down, even folks that have been playing for a long time, sometimes they wonder why there's a hole in their playing. And specifically, this lesson is going to be about the pick rest and how that's going to help you. So let's talk about some basics in regards to how you should be holding the pick and how you should be approaching the strings and that sort of thing. So first off, you want to hold the pick between your thumb and your first finger, and you want to take the longer end of the pick and you want to point it towards the guitar. So sometimes folks will use the side of the pick, the back of the pick, and that sort of thing. Technically, the way you want to do it is the long part of the pick goes just like this, and then that part into the guitar, pointed into the guitar. Now, what happens a lot of times, especially for beginners, is that they're going to pick a particular string and they're picking the wrong string, or they're missing a string altogether. And I'm going to show you this technique, which is going to help a ton. It's called the pick rest. And basically, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a string, and you're going to allow that pick to touch the string that's right below it. So, for instance, if I'm hitting the 6th string here, we're going to let the pick rest on the 5th string. Now, you may say to yourself, maybe you've been playing for a long time, and you say, big deal, what does that do for me? Well, if you practice this, I promise you, you will see great amounts of forward momentum in your picking hand, because you're having to consciously have some control here. When we do that, when we consciously focus on a specific task, that's when we get good at this. But when you're randomly chopping at the strings like this without any regards to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strings, no strings, you're not going to have that same control. The pick rest, what it does is it hyper-focuses your attention on the way that you're actually picking. And it doesn't take much time at all to understand this or to actually get the process. Once you start getting it in a very conscious way, it'll start unconsciously happening in your playing, and your picking hand will have more technique, more ninja-like prowess, if you will, okay? So, the way to do this technique is you're going to start on the 6th string, and you're going to pick, okay? Now, you can rest your hand like, heel on the guitar or on the bridge, or free floating, doesn't matter. I prefer to have my hand resting in some ways because I do a lot of jumping around on stage and that sort of thing, and so I've got a constant right here as opposed to my hand floating and this being the fulcrum, Here, if I put my heel down, that's the fulcrum, and it's much closer, I always say, if this was a brain and you were the surgeon, or if somebody else was the surgeon, would you want them with their arm flailing around here close to your brain with the scalpel? Or would you want it like this? Or would you want it like this? Of course, you'd want their heel right here where they've got a lot of control. So you want to do this similar technique when you're picking. Okay, so what you want to do is you don't have to worry about the left hand or the fretting hand. And when you're picking, you want to pick just that one string and take the pick and make sure you're resting. If you're not resting, if you're doing this, even though it sounds the same, you're not doing it correctly. What you want to do is you want to pick and let that pick rest on the following string. Once that makes sense, then go down to the next string. And you're going to go through all 6 strings this way. Or actually, you can do it on 5 strings, because the 6th string you're just picking out in the open. You don't have another string to rest on. Once you do that, then you're going to do 2 strings, so 6 and 5. And notice I'm pushing through both of those strings and resting on the 4th string. Now, when you start adding another string, 2, 3, 4 strings, that's when it starts becoming more complicated and you're having to be more accurate with your picking hand. So you're going to notice this challenge here. And of course, you don't want it to sound like this, or even, you want it to try to sound like one actual chord. okay? Playing 2 notes. Technically, a chord is 3 or more notes, but you want it to be as one. And then move it down. And so on. So 2s all the way down, then 3s all the way down, then 4s all the way down. I promise you, if you do this technique, you're going to see massive results in your picking hand. Now, this particular lesson is part, or I should say, is one of the styled lessons that I have in the Unstoppable Guitar System that you can get into for $1. The link is below. Make sure you check that out because there's a massive amount of great information, especially for beginners. But even if you have been playing for years and there are holes in your playing, check the Unstoppable Guitar System out. I promise you, you will not be sorry. And in fact, after 14 days, if you still are not happy with it, I will give you your $1 back. I believe in it that much, all right? So check that out. The link is below. Go to yourguitarsage.com and make sure that you sign up with my email list. Some great information in there. I give away free books when I write them, which is often. If you like this video, hit thumbs up, and please hit subscribe. If you need to get in touch with me, please do it here on YouTube or Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff right in this area here. And hey, I'm here for you. So this is my job. This is what I do for a living, and I love it. I love my job. So please let me help you. So I'm Eric Andreas, your guitar sage. Don't trust the man, and keep practicing your guitar and spay and neuter your animals. See ya.